A very good morning. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thanks, Imani. Anil, fantastic opening. And thank you very much for having me here. It's really a privilege to be in the architecture community and talking something more about building the overall infrastructure, building the nation, and I think inspiring. I think architecture is one thing which not only about the infrastructure building, it is all about inspiring about the culture and how basically the nation looks like. So really proud to be here and privileged. See, it's difficult at times. By education, I'm a civil engineer, and like speaking to a community, it's slightly difficult, but I'll try to make it simple, and I'll try to make it as much interactive as possible and quick, which doesn't like impacts nuance. Let me know if it is visible.
Yes, sir.
So as Imani already introduced me, I represent the construction vertical in India for Trimble, and Sketchup is an important portfolio Trimble brings on board for our construction technology vertical. When I say design delightfully, it is very important first to understand that where this comes from, at least from the Trimble point of view. Delightfully means whatever I think, whatever I have in mind, the creativity, everything, the tool which I have should be able to do it. And SketchUp is all about that, right? It gives flexibility, it gives freedom to designer's mind. Whatever we require, we can think, we can craft on it, and then start delivering. A bit about Trimble, it is important to make a note. Trimble's whole perspective, it's a global giant in the technology domain, and construction is one of the biggest portfolio Trimble has. The aim is all about connecting the digital and physical world. That is the mantra of Trimble as a global organization, and like every solution Trimble brings in, this is the foundation of our technology, connecting the digital and physical world, like how we can bring them together. The connectivity is the most important thing. And how do we connect? Is like data. We enable every solution which we bring on board for the customers, the consumers. We power it with the real-time data connectivity. So it's the capture, the three stages which I personally define in the technology side. It's like capturing the information, creating the information, and then consuming the information, right? So in all three sides, the Trimble brings in the technological solutions, which allows us to basically like get the data, work on it, and later on how we basically want to send it to the last mile when we are actually delivering our projects. These are the two key things: connecting the digital and physical, and then with the real-time data enablement on every solution. The core industries Trimble serves with is definitely agriculture, construction, geospatial, and transport. So SketchUp is part of our construction vertical, which I do represent today here, but Trimble precisely in every part of the world you can see, and the technological side. So what is the connected construction we talk about? The connected construction is not about just a 3D model, right? Most of the times we all comes about like we should be able to visualize, we should be able to make our drawings. That's not about the connected construction ecosystem which we are trying to drive, and it is not about just within the Trimble. In fact, the whole ecosystem, that our solutions are pretty open. and open in terms of like porting with any other third-party solutions, or maybe bringing inside the data from any third-party applications. So that basically makes the digital environment complete. And then we try to connect in-office crews with the on-field crews. This is where the connected construction is what Trimble as a technology domain is driving. Like you have the digital model, you use it for reporting, your procurement, your job cost, your schedules, but at the same time, how basically the construction happens on site, you are able to send out those information in terms of by means and mechanisms through which the technology is available. So that's all about like how do you connect your white collar with blue collar people. So let's not work in isolation. How to connect softwares are not the only important thing. How to connect the software and the assets created with that with the real-time machines which are on ground. This is the technology we are all about and working on it continuously for the last 40 years. Now let's come to Sketchup, because this particular forum is all about creativity. This forum is all about thinkers, right? And how basically moves and shake the world with the creativity. Sketchup is the tool, most widely used tool worldwide by different domain people. So how do we know Sketchup? It is the easiest form of any tool for thinkers. It is the easiest and most affordable tool for anyone to be deployed. And the third thing, it can be utilized by even a 5th grade student or maybe below that to the most professional and serious people who are into the creativity zone. So who uses SketchUp? See, every corner of the infrastructure or the manufacturing or anything which we want to produce and think about design, everyone uses it. But predominantly, you can say more than 50% of our users are from the architecture domain. And we are blessed to have fantastic successes and success stories from our customers, from our partners, what they are designing. What is SketchUp is being used for, and that's another facet. It's like every portion, right from the concept design to the fabrication, the SketchUp is being implemented and applied, right? But that's how the stacks are. The visualization is the core aspect of SketchUp, because what we are imagining, how do we like pass on the intent of what we are thinking? The visualization is the most powerful way, right, to visualize ourselves and to like communicate the intent to somebody else. The visualization, presentation, the newly formed documentations of SketchUp is really, really powerful. Some of our clients, I think these names are not unknown. There's some of our larger set of clients worldwide, but that's not what I intend to talk about. I think this is the thing, like at least from Trimble's point of view, we are proud of, that when we say it is the most widely used design application worldwide, it shows the horizon of it, 33 million annual users. And please note, these are all registered users. There are a lot of our friends and customers who forgets to pay us, but 33 million annual active users registered are there. And then there are multiple like matrices, which is fine. The education is the biggest hub apart from the professional users. This is the winning ecosystem of SketchUp as a tool, right? That what SketchUp brings for everyone on the table, which basically completes the whole life cycle of from design to fabrication to visualization and what basically is needed to be delivered as a product by any designers, architects, visualizers. Right from pre-design to building performance analysis, from scanning technologies to AR and VR. So designing is the old stuff, but how basically we are advancing the whole system into more and more digital world where like the immersive technologies are coming. The scanning is the most important thing, the automation from building from scan to BIM, all of that. And the most powerful thing today we have is our mobile, and how basically you bring your entire design on the smallest device but still remain powerful. SketchUp for mobile, all of that is there. I want to give a flair of it, that how the different composition of SketchUp works today. So first and foremost, SketchUp for web. You don't require this product to be installed. You can directly open the browser and you can still like create your concept designs. And we call this as SketchUp Shop. You can just use it on the web browser. The second thing, which is like in India, which is predominantly being used, SketchUp Professional, which basically gives you the access for pre-designing module of it, the core SketchUp. You have 2D documentation, which is very, very powerful. You can create your 2D documentation. You don't require to basically transport your model from here to there. You can do that. Viewer, the collaboration platform called Connect, right, where you can share your design, your outputs to anyone without them having SketchUp in their machines. And last but not the least, but the most powerful one is the warehouse, right? The wide variety of data is available on the warehouse. And the last one, which is the advanced workflow, where we basically blend this entire tool with the visualization and with the third-party partners. V-Ray wants to create some stunning photorealistic visualization. V-Ray is being used. And then if you want to interact with the scan data and convert that scan data into the real 3D, that's where the Scan Essential comes into the picture. This is what we call SketchUp or Studio for the advanced workflow. But right from concept to delivering the final output, maybe interacting with different domains, because that's what it's trying to do, like connecting digital to physical. We are able to drive SketchUp. Not going into detail, but every part of the design and build life cycle, we are able to touch the SketchUp portfolio. Right from strategic definition to comparing documents and maybe up to fabrication. If you want to utilize the SketchUp, has the variety, depth and breadth to do that. The building performance analysis with Sapphira is awesome. Like I myself have tried, though it is not my domain, but I've seen like my colleagues working on some of the analytical part of it. It is really beautiful to see. And another thing is the document generation, like very soon, maybe in the cloud part when the automatic documentation is coming out. So apart from the core thing about the modeling, and visualization, some of these things are really making SketchUp more live, and I think product with some life for the designers. So let me just quickly walk you through. I think many of you would have already experienced it, but what is SketchUp is all about: robust 3D modeling, right? So and this is like the thing probably you start, as I said, capturing the information. So let us see if you have done the complete scan and if you have captured the as-built and you want to convert that scanned information to a complete 3D model. The beautiful and fantastic tool which basically converts your scan data into 3D models, right, and come out with this. So this basically reduces our overall time taken in 3D models. They're beautiful tools. Anyhow, they are faster, but it is further reducing our design time or modeling. This is iterate your designs with ease, and I'm sure most of you have seen this. This is one thing, like how do you have the different schemas within different models, and you are able to like compare and ideate how my design is going to be functioning with different options, right? And the powerful content available inside it, it makes things so easier. Then we talk about this. It's not only about doing these smaller projects, but maybe we have a large, like mega projects where multiple interactions needs to be handled on a project side. Sketchup is pretty much capable of having the lightest form of the file size, the data, and the amount of information inside that, pretty much able to handle it in a very simple hardware configuration today. It can run on any hardware. A lot of time when we talk about design intent, you know, many tools I've come across, it's difficult to put everything into design intent, because it makes your system heavy, it makes your design files heavy. But how do you make sure that we are still able to visualize that what we want to achieve as an end goal? And that's where every small piece of information which comes to our mind, we can basically put in here, though it is just for the intent requirement. And we can manage all these scenarios much better with SketchUp. What details we want to have, these are like, you call it a model management, you call it a layer management, you call it a design management, can be anything. The thing is, it has every level of information with respect to a design and what we want to communicate easily doable. What do I do with this 3D model if I'm unable to go on site, produce what is needed, and pass on the information to the next stakeholders? And that is where, like, this new layout tool and the new features and functions which are coming up into it, it is able to extract out the information from your like detailed live model and generate anything which you require, which you want to deliver. What we want at the end, that stunning image, like the realistic design, what we thought of, and how basically this is going to be exposed on the ground once it's done. So we partner with V-Ray, and the combination of SketchUp and V-Ray is so good to come out with beautiful design intents. We are very proud to have the largest repository of the real-time data with us, and that is what we call extension warehouse. Anything which you want to bring to your design life to the design is into the warehouse. More than like 30 million catalog data is available of a variety of domains, and it is becoming more and more intelligent now, rather than having just a dumb piece of information. How can we make it more robust and intelligent? Can be reused? That's what the warehouse is bringing for everyone on the table. So you can see some of these advanced workflows with your extensions like profile builders, like this third-party tool called Lumion. Like, how do you integrate and make your design so flexible, right? So this is all about like having more extended term, and as I mentioned, the largest 3D model repository. You can find practically anything and everything what we want to bring to a design model's life. Is available with that. I just did my house architecture done with some of the professional agencies, and it was, I'm not a SketchUp user. Of course, I sit with my product team, my design team, but I personally have never touched, and I've When I saw somebody who is doing my house, it was awesome to see that how easy and flexible it is. And within 10 minutes, how many alternatives I could see that this is how I want it. So communicating the intent and collaborating with stakeholders, it's not about the engineers or architects or contractors. The most important thing, whom we are building it for. And if we are able to communicate our ideas faster, then it is fantastic. And like that. And here it's like a specified real world products, the catalogs from the real manufacturers are available. And if we want to utilize and actually see their performance, this is all SketchUp brings to the table. Like, it's not easy that we customize, we build, we create, and then we do it. It takes time, but here the things are readily available and can be utilized anytime. As I mentioned, building performance analysis is a great feature. So you can find out that what is the carbon footprint, how this building is going to perform with the Safera, which works along with the SketchUp. And you can come out with different analytics and statistics, right, about your design. It's not only about doing a great 3D model, but you can bring in the complete analytics. And 2D documentation, wow, this is phenomenal that you are designing and you're extracting your 2D documentation. Though I think in future, the 2D documentation may not be required, but at least for next several years, it is still going to be part of our life, and we are adding this information, like quick videos that how basically you set up your different viewports and then fetching up different type of information into it. So able to clearly communicate what and how our intent is all about, and that's all about winning the minds and heart of our client. This is web, so ideate, visualize your ideas online, just work on web, and you have every tool, every possible options available, so you can quickly do the things on the web itself. AR and VR is available for quite some time, but we are talking about the mixed reality where you are actually transposing your design on the field, and that's where the HoloLens comes into the picture. Like Trimble has strategic partnership with Microsoft, and with that, we are actually transposing our digital onto the physical environment. And that is where, like, my excitement when I saw this option, one of the projects, it was a raw site, and we transpose the entire design on site. It became the real scenario, like immersive environment on the site, and that's how it's going to look like. So we all need to try. I think Microsoft still needs to open these options for India. I'm sure soon it's going to be there. Virtual reality I talked about, and this is the Connect option. So I don't know whether you can see, but on mobile we can have this application available, Trimble Connect. You have it basically takes every kind of inputs, whether it's an architect, an engineer, contractor, whatever the level of information, MEP, structures, architectures, any kind of services. It basically blends everything, and then you are able to see how the overall things go. This is completely a collaborative tool. We call it Trimble Connect. It is part of the SketchUp, where you can view, you can collaborate, you can comment, you can do the class checks, and you can send the actions to the designers, to the engineers, how it is needed, and available as a part of SketchUp. And this is a beautiful visualizer which comes as part of Trimble Connect, that the real-time collaboration with multiple stakeholders, and then you have this visualizer inbuilt inside it. You get the stunning images of your live design. So with that, I'm going to go quickly. What is the extent for commercial architecture, for residential architecture, for commercial construction, for residential construction, for commercial interiors, for workspace interiors, for retail spaces, urban planning, landscape architecture, landscape design, for logistics and warehousing, for manufacturing design. You're talking about a factory. Beautiful things. I just did it for my house, kitchen design, different options. We all need beautiful house, how it looks like. So easy to do it because I've seen how it is happening, and I was delighted. And that basically motivated me to come and speak here today because I'm associated with this. Like a lot of our customers, we interact, and like as a civil engineer, when I'm interacting with the architects, it is sometimes really fascinating when we are communicating our intent and ideas so quickly. And the whole concept and the whole message from the Trimble side, the entire community, just design fearlessly, being collaborative, come up with their creativity, and deliver with confidence. It's all from my side. Thank you all for patient listening. Thank you.
Yeah, Harsh, I'm going to be asking you a few questions. Anil Vanwari here.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I'm going to be asking, posing a couple of questions to you. In terms of localizing the warehouse, how much of it has been localized? Because when we look at architectural outputs, they look very fancy. They look very Western. India is a different market. So how much have you localized the product in the warehouse?
Okay, I'm going to answer this question into two different forms. So one is about we have opened up this platform for sharing the localized information, right? So if I am as an architect, if I'm designing something and if that's going to be used widely in India, I can share that. That's number one. Trimble has its own R&D center within India, and there's a team which works only on the content development part, right? And of course, we are slightly behind it, but slowly this particular part is being progressed very well. And we are collecting information from every possible source and every possible customers we have, and we are trying to add it. But the best part would be, we talk about sustainability, we talk about collaboration. So if, let us say, the architecture community, they are building something, they have options to basically put it, it can be utilized, it can be archived unless it is an IP protected. But Trimble has its own team working out of India in the content part now. We have 1,400 people within India.
Fantastic. That's great news for the architecture and design fraternity. Now, secondly, you have 33 million users worldwide. How many of those are from India, from the architecture fraternity? If I may ask, with your permission.
I gave you, I think, majority of our clients are from the architecture side. There are good stories and there are not so good stories in terms of use. But I would say a fraction of it, not many, registered.
Okay, great. I mean, so you have a large audience to convert.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. And after today's presentation, I think you'll have a large part of them actually seeking to try out the product and the services that you offer.
I'm sure. And thank you for providing this platform.
Thank you very much. And you have a wonderful time and lots of success going forward in the Indian market. It was great to have you. You look after SAARC, and it was great to have somebody as senior as you come and talk about the product and share your views on why the architects should use this and why students should use it and the kind of packages you offer to everyone. Thank you very much, Harsh.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks.